how do you influence finance leaders when you don't have a title yet? So if you're, or the big title yet, shall we say. So if you're a finance manager or head of finance in a startup and you are trying to lead without being the official CFO, I completely understand. I have been exactly where you are today. So today we're going to talk about exactly how to influence, how to lead, how to perhaps earn respect, even if your title doesn't reflect your responsibility yet, probably because you are the number one finance person, but you're not yet a CFO. So I'll cover 7 practical tips on how you can shift to that today. The things that have worked for me and for my students who go through the Financial Leadership Foundations course with me. My name's Alysha Randall. I'm a fractional CFO and I also train new and aspiring CFOs within startups and scale-ups. I am the author of the book of the same name, and the course that I run is called Financial Leadership Fundamentals. So if you are a new or aspiring CFO within a startup or scale up and this sounds like something that could be useful to you, then please do click on the subscribe button below. I post a video every Thursday morning. Okay, so the first one is get clear first. So you can't really influence others if you don't have an opinion. I know that sounds insane, but essentially you and your team are putting together all the numbers and you need to understand what the numbers are trying to say. So what are the insights that you can glean from the numbers? What are the meaning behind them? What are the trends? What are the things that you want to talk about to the senior leadership team? And so getting very clear on what you believe is the first step, essentially. So you want to ask yourself, what does this data or data, with my Aussie accent, tell me about the business? And then what needs to happen next? So as a finance leader, when you're looking at the management accounts, not only do you need to check that the team has been accurate and it is all in the right place and an understanding of the variances, but what you really want to do is understand what these numbers are telling us about the future. What insights can you give to the business so that you can talk about the future? That is the most important thing and the most meaningful thing. So you need to do that work first. The next one is to speak their language. So if you are talking about EBITDA and then the senior leadership team are talking about hiring and runway, then you're not connected, you might lose them. So you need to translate the numbers. So even if you have a fintech leadership team and they completely understand accounting terms, you still want to make sure that you're using the commercial terms. So this is a big skill for getting trust and getting people to listen to you. So you want to use their language. So it really think about what, or listen to what people are saying. Again, if your founder is saying hiring, this particular metric, cash runway, then you need to focus on those things and use that lingo as well. The third one is consistency builds credibility. So influence, or being able to influence people, doesn't happen overnight. It's actually built over time. It's the same as trust. Influence and trust are the two things as a finance leader that you just need to build over time. A few tips on how you can do that is being calm in a meeting, turning in, producing solid work, or making sure that the work that your team puts together is solid and consistent, but also helping people understand the numbers, spending the time to ensure that everyone knows what you're talking about, whether that is talking the right way or spending time with them to go through it if you need to. So you want to show up reliably and your leadership team will start turning to you for advice. Number 4 is having a point of view. So you don't want to just bring problems to the table, whether that be the leadership team or whether that be one-to-ones. You want to bring recommendations. So even if you don't or you're not confident in your recommendations, that is the point of the conversation. So instead of saying, oh, this is really wrong in the numbers, instead you can say, I've noticed this. Here are two options of what we can do going forward. I believe it's the option one instead of option two. Let's have a conversation. That is what leaders do, and that is how you can really demonstrate that you have a strong point of view and that you are worthwhile having a conversation with. So this is the best way of showing that you're ready for that next level and you can help influence the conversation that the leadership team is having. Number 5 is the calm in the chaos. So startups are very intense. They're pivoting all the time. Often there are lots of fires. You know, if you're working in a startup, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It can be quite chaotic. Me personally, I love the chaos. I love problem solving. I like doing things quickly, so it suits my personality really well. But if you are new to this culture, you just need to be aware of how you behave and how you're dealing with this chaos. So when everything is moving really fast, the finance function can either add to that stress or they can bring clarity. Ideally, obviously, you want to be the latter. So you want to be the calm one, you want to be the structured one, you want to be the one that helps others make calm and confident decisions. You want to be the practical one. So if this isn't your natural instinct, it is something you may need to try and lean into and learn. Even if it means you take half an hour to catch your breath and then come back with your calm and assured and structured problem solving approach. The last thing you want to be is a person that just adds stress to the situation. If you are and you do, then you won't be involved in that problem solving. So make sure that you're the calm one and you help to solve those problems. Number 6, now asking great questions. This is very subtle but incredibly powerful. And I did talk about if you're trying to find your voice within leadership and board meetings, this is your first go-to. If you want to see that video, I'll leave a link above and below. But essentially, asking questions can be really powerful, and actually it makes people potentially think outside the box, taking a step back from the detail. And it's amazing how much you can add to this. Really senior and experienced CFOs will always ask questions. Questions such as, what are we solving for? What's the upside if this works? Do we have the resource to make this happen? If the company triples in size, is this solution still going to work? Lots of examples out there, but here that is a couple of good examples of how you can ask questions to really position yourself as a leader, even if you're not the loudest person in the room. And number 7, and this is a really interesting one, and I wish somebody said this to me early in my career, is you don't need to wait for permission. So you don't need a CFO title to lead a finance function in a startup. Nobody is going to come to you and tell you that you are allowed to act as a leader now. And I know that sounds insane, but I have a feeling I probably needed that at the beginning of my career as a leader. But nobody's going to do that. You don't need permission to ask better questions, challenge assumptions, or make recommendations for things to going forward. You just need to step up as a leader, and you will then slowly be treated as a leader. I will say I did get the leadership title before I started behaving like a leader. In hindsight, it probably would have been better if I started practicing how to be a leader before I got the title, so that I was ready to transition into that leadership role and I would have been a better employee. So try and start behaving like a leader, and then your influence will follow. If you want to be a confident and skilled finance leader in the next 12 months, then this is what you need to do. There's 3 steps. The first one is to subscribe to this channel. Have a look at all the free content I have. There are so much resources out there, both on my YouTube channel, but also on my website, financialleadershipfoundations.com. There are quizzes, there are downloadable PDFs. So take a look at all of that content. That's your first step. Your second step is to take a look at my book, Financial Leadership Fundamentals: How to Become a CFO in a Startup or Scale Up. In that are actions at the end of every chapter. There are actions that you can implement today. So if you want to know how to do that, take a look at the book. Again, links are down below. And then the final step is to enroll into the FLF course, where you'll be working with me directly. We have Q&A sections every single month. And with all of the content you get for free, we give so much more than that in the course, such as downloadable templates, lots and lots of things on how to support you to get to that confident and skilled finance leader in a startup or scale up. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget your 3 steps to get to that level, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.